Alright, let's dive into this because it's a story that, on the surface, might seem like just another injury update, but personally, I think it's a lot more than that. So, Michael Neser, Australia's Ashes hero, has picked up a calf strain during training. Now, first off, what makes this really interesting is the timing. Neser wasn't even in the squad for the upcoming Bangladesh series, but he was on standby, ready to step in if needed. That alone tells you how highly the selectors rate him, especially after his Ashes performance. But here's the thing, this injury isn't just a minor setback. It's a calf strain, which, if you take a step back and think about it, is one of those injuries that can linger if not managed properly. And for a fast bowler, that's a big deal. From my perspective, Neser's situation highlights a broader trend in cricket right now, the importance of squad depth. Australia is staring down the barrel of 20, possibly 21 tests in the next 12 months. That's an insane schedule, and it's no secret that their pace attack is aging. Cummins, Hazlewood, Stark, Boland, these guys are all world-class, but they're not getting any younger. Neser, with his late career surge, has become a crucial part of that depth. His Ashes performance was nothing short of remarkable, picking up 15 wickets at an average of under 20. What many people don't realize is that he did this while bowling at speeds he hadn't sustained before, touching 140 km per hour. That's a detail I find fascinating, a guy who's been around for a while suddenly finding a new gear. But it also raises a deeper question, how sustainable is this? Higher intensity, lower volume training has worked for him, but now with this injury, you have to wonder if there's a limit to how much his body can handle. What this really suggests is that Australia's selectors are walking a tightrope. They're relying on Neser to be part of that pace squad for South Africa in October, but now he's got a month of rehab ahead of him. That's not a lot of time to rebuild bowling loads, especially for someone who's become so integral to their plans. Personally, I think this injury could be a blessing in disguise. It forces the selectors to think even more critically about their pace options. Do they stick with the big four? Do they give Boland more opportunities? Or do they look to someone like Neser, who's proven he can step up when needed? It's a tough call, and one that's going to shape Australia's strategy moving forward. One thing that immediately stands out is how this injury contrasts with the rest of the squad's preparation. Josh Inglis had some back spasms, but that's a known issue, and he's expected to be fine. The big four quicks, Cummins, Hazlewood, Stark, and Boland, are all in good shape. But Neser's injury is the wild card. It's unexpected, and it's significant. If you asked me, it's a reminder of how fragile a cricketer's career can be, especially for fast bowlers. One wrong step, one misjudged sprint, and suddenly you're on the sidelines. That's the reality of the sport, and it's something Neser knows all too well after his hamstring strain in 2024. What makes this really interesting, though, is how Neser's absence could impact the dynamics of the team. He's not just a bowler, he's a guy who brings a unique skill set. His ability to bowl with the keeper up to the stumps, his sustained pace, his control, these are things that set him apart. Without him, Australia's attack loses a bit of its edge, especially in conditions that might favor movement and accuracy. So, while the focus right now is on his recovery, I can't help but think about what his absence means for the South Africa tour. Will they miss him? Absolutely. But it also opens the door for someone else to step up, and that's where things get really intriguing. If you take a step back and think about it, Neser's injury is a microcosm of the challenges modern cricket teams face. How do you balance workload and performance? How do you manage injuries in a packed schedule? And how do you build a squad that can withstand the inevitable setbacks? These are questions that Australia's selectors are grappling with right now, and Neser's situation is just the latest example. In my opinion, it's not just about getting him fit for October, it's about reevaluating their entire approach to squad management. Because if they don't, they could find themselves in a situation where one injury derails their entire campaign. So, here's my closing thought. Michael Neser's calf strain is more than just a setback for him. It's a wake-up call for Australian cricket. It's a reminder that even the best laid plans can go awry, and that depth isn't just about having backups, it's about having backups who are ready to perform at the highest level. Personally, I'm going to be watching closely to see how this plays out. Because in a sport as demanding as cricket, the teams that succeed aren't just the ones with the best players. They're the ones who can adapt, innovate, and overcome. And right now, Australia's got their work cut out for them.